Alright, so I'm solving this problem right now. Smallest substring of all characters. Yeah, okay, so the problem is given an array of unique characters, array, and a string str. Oops, that was a weird pause. Implement a function get shortest unique substring that finds the smallest substring of str. Contain all the characters in array. Return empty string if such string does not exist, for sure. Come up with an asymptotically optimal solution and analyze time and space complexity. So we have array. We're going to move through this array and we're going to move this string. So obviously my solution, I already thought about my solution, but like the time complexity that I'm able to come up with is, well, I'm definitely going to have to scan through this whole string. So we're definitely going to have a, if I analyze my time complexity already before I even start, we're definitely going to have a time complexity of str.length. That's kind of given to us. But, you know, so because we'll scan through this whole string, and there might be a little bit more, but ultimately, really, I guess this is not completely accurate because the worst runtime is going to be, with my solution, it's going to be approximately this, I believe. Well, no, it's going to be approximately this, and I'll show why this is the case. Length. This is what I believe my ultimate solution will approximately be. It looks kind of weird. I'm saying the length of the string, like I'm going to scan through the string, and then I'm going to go the string length minus the array length. Now that seems kind of weird, but really, actually, now that I just think about this, this has to do with the fact of I'm going to be using 2 pointers, and you're going to see that one of my pointers is going to scan through it. It's going to be my pointer that's going to be like, and it's going to be my right pointer for most of it. It's going to be my right pointer, so it just makes it to the right. It scans ahead. It'll have to scan through the whole length. Now my left pointer will be moving along as well, but the worst case for it to move is, actually this is wrong. This is wrong. I just realized I was thinking about this. It's actually going to be addition because it can only move str length. But obviously if you add that length to it, it's really just this. So we can do this in linear time scan, and I'm going to show how to do that right now. I need paint. Actually, I might not need paint for this. I might just be able to do it in here. So let's take the first example, array x, y, z, epic, take string x, y, y, z, y, z, y, x. Okay, so what am I going to do? So I want to basically check elements. I'm going to use some type of a pointer. So I'm going to specify that I have a right pointer and it's equal to 0 initially, left pointer equals 0 initially. So the first thing I do is I'm also going to keep track of, this is another thing I want to keep track of, which is the number of unique characters that I've used. And the reason for this is because once I've used the number of unique characters, there's going to be a base case. If unique equals array.length as a pseudocode. But yeah, if this number equals the array.length, then that means that we're going to want to start maybe moving the left pointer. Maybe move left pointer. Not too sure yet. So we move this along. So the right pointer is 0. So the first thing, this is 0, but it's going to increment. Well, we'll show. So first off, right goes to 1. And when right goes to 1, unique is going to go to 1. And we're going to create this. The reason for that is because now our substring is equal to x. That is, if you take a slice of string from left to right, or something like this, you'll get x. But actually, I'm going to do +1 because the reality is we're going to, before we even increment the right pointer, I'm going to have this will be my first substring. I'm going to increment, because the right pointer is going to be incremented in the for loop, so I'm going to increment this later by 1. So we'll just say right equals 1 down here. But yeah, so we have this right here, and we add this substring. We increment our unique. We increment our unique, then we do this. So we wait, what am I doing? I just lost track of what I was doing. Oh yeah, I also need to add these to the dictionary. So that means x now has 1. The only reason we added to the unique was because the counter was equal to 0. That is, x is an array and the count of x in sub is 0. That's why we increment. Then we go down here. We're going to increment again because y is an array and the count of y in sub is 0. So unique will go to 2. Sorry, right is equal to 1 here. Unique will go to 2. Our sub will now be equal to xy. And obviously we're going to have x1 and we're going to have y1. And then the right will go to 2. And then we'll add another y. And then I'll just kind of skip that because in this case it's not going to increment the 2. But once we go to right equals 3, we're going to have unique equals 3 because z is not in it, and sub is equal to x, y, y, z. And then, x is 1, y is 2. I'm going to stop doing this after this. And z is 1. And then we're like, okay, cool. But when this happens, let's start moving the left pointer. So first off, you save this solution. So I save my res is now equal to, res is going to be my solution, is equal to this x, y, y, and z. Let's start moving the left pointer. So we start moving the left pointer. And so it looks like for the left pointer, I would want to, go down, check what I'm doing down here as well. Okay, yeah, that's just me working out. So for the left pointer, you can see I put a lot of effort into understanding this problem. So start moving the left pointer. Basically, it'll be a while loop. We're going to move the left pointer as long as unique is equal to 3. But the thing is that we remove x, so we get sub equals yyz. Now we don't want to save this sub as a result, but we do want to say that unique is now equal to 2. So we're just going to keep going. So we're going to start moving the right pointer. So the left pointer is now equal to 1. We're going to move the right pointer all the way to the length of the array. I'm just going to move it all the way because nothing really interesting happens until we get to the end, until we get to this x at the end. And then once we get to the x at the end, we're like, okay, cool, unique is now equal to 3 again, so we have to move the left pointer. So move left pointer. So we don't save this into our subarray because it's too big. So we move our left pointer, and you can see we're going to get to the point where we have this, zyx. Now, we want to definitely update res equal to this new substring, or res equal to zyx, right? So we want to update that, but we also want to realize we're going to stop moving it. So we move left, we lower unique by 1 because we are removing left pointer past the z, and we return. Now, there's a couple things that we consider in this. So I know I did this example, but what if we had a, and we had string equals a. Kind of obvious solution is going to be a. Would this kind of technique work? Well, yeah, it's going to kind of work. It's just you're going to have left equals 0, right equals 0, unique equals 0 initially. But when you add it to the thing, you add to the, I guess it's a hash map, add to hash map. Basically you're going to get something like this. Basically where it says a and you have 1, but when you do that, you have to increment unique, which make it equal to 1. Then it will go into a while loop. Okay, well, I feel this will work where it moves left pointer, and I'll update the solution. Now, since we only update the solution when we move the left pointer, if we never ever, so when do we return empty string? All right, let's think about this real quick. When do we return empty string? Whenever we go, whenever the right pointer reaches the last element in string, so which is really just saying the right pointer equals string.length. Once we equal string.length, we don't really want to go any further. So when that happens, you know, if the left pointer never moved, if unique never equaled the length array.length, then you return empty string, because I'm only going to update in this while string where I'm moving the left pointer. And when do I move the left pointer? I only move the left pointer when the value of the unique, okay, unique is just a name, but a unique is representing the number of unique characters that I have found that are in my array. And if I have found all those unique characters, my array will equal the length of the array, and that's only time when we want to actually update our result. So this seems to be everything I need. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use I'm going to use a counter from collections from my hash map, imports counter. So counter is usually pretty helpful for Python, for whenever you're, well, I don't know, like for this instance it's useful because it will take a key, and the key will be like the characters, and then the value, it initialize a value for all the keys as 0, which is good. So then I just increment them by 1 and so on. Also, I won't get a key error if I use a regular dictionary in Python. So we'll say this is counting the number of chars, I guess, equals counter. We're going to have to create unique left, right, 0, 0, 0. We're going to need what are the data structures? So I'm using a data structure to keep track of the unique, the left, the right, so 3 pointers. I have a hash map data structure, so you know, take up some space, like O of the length of the array. I believe that's all I used in my solution, it looks like. So, oh, there's one other trick that I can use to make this easier, which is I don't need my array to be, I don't need it to be a list. I might as well convert it to a set, just because it will help with the lookup. We have constant lookup in a set. Okay, so now I think I'll start my coding. So let's see, the first thing we're going to do is create this when we're moving the right pointer. So we move the right pointer first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for r in range, well, we want to go as far as the string. I don't think we want to go past it, because if we go past it, yeah, this will work. Also, I just realized that I don't need to initialize this as 0 if I'm going to use a for loop. So just do that. So for I in range, I guess for left, I'll just use LE so I can save time typing it. And I guess I'll use RI here. Okay, so for I in range, so we want to check if, so it's important if it's in the array, right? If string RI not in array, so if it's not in the array, we don't really worry, we just continue, right? So we just continue to the next, we increment right pointer and go on. Now if it's in the array, we want to do this stuff. So I just got in my way that the condition when I just want to continue. But if I don't want to continue, I would want to basically do if num chars string ri is basically equal to 0, then we want to increment the unique by 1. We also want to update this by 1. So now we say, hey, we found one character, we increment our unique. And then we'll just keep moving our right pointer. But there's another case. If unique equals, so if unique is equivalent to, let's say, well, yeah, I'm just going through trying to solve this, but yeah, I guess if unique is equivalent to, why am I losing my train of thought all of a sudden? It's not going to be if. I want to do a while loop, so I'm going to keep moving. If unique equals length of, I think it was the array. Or wait, we want to do this as long as it's equal to length of array. It's never going to be greater than it. And once it's not equal to it, you just stop. Okay. Seems pretty fair. So, what do we want to do? So I discussed I want to save my update, but there's only 2 conditions. So when do I want to update my result? And that's one thing I forgot to initialize, my empty string result. And also, I already know that I'm going to want to return res. Okay, so when do I want to actually update res? Well, I feel like, first off, if res is empty, so I guess if the length, I guess if the length of res is equal to 0, I would want to basically update res to make it equal to sub. Now, what is sub? Sub is my name of my substring. Sub will be equal to string left, right, right, boy, I forgot I changed the name, right, +1. Why +1? Because just thinking about it from the 0 index, when ri equals 0, if for some reason the array is just equal to a, this is like a very edge case, then if you take sub equals string 0 to 0, that's not going to work. So you have to add 1 to it. That would return the a from the string. If string is equal to, wow, this is so bad explanation. If string is equal to a. Crap, did I use uppercase or lowercase before? Oh boy. Anyway, so I do that, and then I update res with sub. Also, I want to update it if the length of sub is less than length of res. Really the only time I want to do that. So that's pretty simple. Now I want to move my left pointer. So now there's one thing I want to do though. I want to decrement the unique if the num chars string left pointer is equal to 1, basically, because we're about to decrement it by 1. Then we want to take unique and minus it by 1. Now at the end of this, we are going to, no matter what, decrement this by 1 before we take LE and increment it by 1. So yeah, we're saying, hey, we're moving on from this character to the next character. If for some reason unique is less than negative, if we subtract a unique, we're going to stop. So I think this covers my cases. I'm updating my hash table, my data structure. And I'm also, so I'm updating the res. I'm updating my unique value under this condition. And I'm also updating the hash map, and I'm updating the left pointer. So I think this will work. So I'm actually just going to run the test real quick. Looks like we have an issue here. Yeah, I passed all the tests. All right, that's cool. It's a fun problem. So this has the time is, okay, well, I think I'm running out of time because this video is over 20 minutes. The time, I guess, is of string.length. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, because you iterate through the right and you move the left side, but you can only move the left side to just as long as the string.length, so it's really just addition. Cool.